Good morning from Nashville, Tennessee. Tommy Grisafi, ATI ProMedia. We are live at 9 o'clock. And I got to tell y'all, there's so much that's happened. I woke up at 4 this morning and I'm in Nashville. Started looking at headlines. We got Microsoft briefly touched above 3 trillion value. We've had economic data come out. Grains were up, opened up, got slammed. PJ from the options group said that big sell order hit the beans on the open. We got drought monitor maps. We've got strength in other markets. Natural gas is flying around. All this while we're producing this show, and we're going to be on Scott the Cow Guy one more day hosting live at 1 o'clock on RFD TV. But I bring in my go-to guy, Connor B, and Brady's sitting in the wings just in case I fall out of my chair here. But
Good morning.
Brady's giggling. He's got a hat on backwards. I could see him in the lower part. Hey, this whole TV business, crazy stuff, Connor.
Yeah, I got a first question. Did you wake up at 4 a.m. or did you go to bed at 4 a.m.?
No,
Are you staying out of the live music, or what are you doing?
No, I was behaving. I had 2 Diet Cokes last night at the bar. And speaking of the bar, wow, what an opportunity yesterday. Yesterday, I got to interview John Rich from Big and Rich, and he had Angie
Oh,
Aporo.
awesome.
Yeah, Angie's got this new song coming out, Free Man. And then this talk about wild. I also met Catturd at the bar last night. And if you guys don't know who Catturd is, just Google him. But here's what's the first thing that's going to pop up when you say, why am I watching ATI ProMedia and Catturd? Catturd was interviewed by Tucker Carlson 2 days ago. So Catturd's interview with Tucker Carlson had a lot more views than the ATI ProMedia team. He's up to 45 million views. I mean, this media and what's happening and just being down here, I've learned so much. I wish I could tell you all about it, but we got to talk markets, Connor. Take over for me, buddy.
Let's do it. And that's the fun thing about being live, Tommy. I don't know what you're going to say. You're talking about a guy named Catturd, so all news to me. But speaking of news, let's jump right into it. Outside markets, we got a lot of news to digest. GDP came in, beat forecast up 3.3%, forecasted at 2%, and showed the economy grew by 2.5% in 2023 compared to 1.9% in 2022. So good start. We finished the year positive, and we beat estimates on the GDP. Good to see, right, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. The American economy's hot. I got bad news for the grain guys. Everyone wants to own stocks. I mean, they just want to own Microsoft. They want to own tech. We had a special yesterday on the show about AI and a Farm Bureau at their 105th meeting. One of the biggest subjects at the Farm Bureau meeting was AI. We covered it on Cow Guy Close yesterday. Funny to say that I was the host. I still, I don't pinch myself, but I do get a little nervous. I'm probably more nervous to be with you, Connor, than to be on national live TV, buddy.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I
real
don't
quick,
believe that. Go ahead.
if you're out there, out in the interweb, YouTube, we're live on YouTube today. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. I see a few comments. We'll get them at the end. Ask us a comment, email us, text us, whatever you want. And the interaction's the best part. I mean, there's the interaction with our viewers and our listeners. And this show is for you. We do it for you. Connor's right. We don't always know what's going to happen. But I do know this, Connor. I watch a lot of other shows, and they are constantly talking about what happened yesterday. So if you want to know what happened yesterday, there's a whole list of shows I can give you. If you want to know what's happening right now at 9:03, this is the place to be, buddy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of that, we got a good question. Let's pop that up at the end, though, Joe. But let's fly through these outside markets, Tommy. Jobless claims came in higher than expected, 214,000 versus 200,000. And then, we got rid of the other one. I think continuing claims came in higher as well. Durable goods, right, unchanged, below forecast of 1.1 increase. So a little bit negative news, but overall, I'm going to focus on the positive. GDP's up. Good to see. What were you telling me before we got on the show, Tommy, about Microsoft? Was it 3 trillion market cap?
Briefly, yeah, cross 3 trillion. And you said, you just remember a few years ago when the big hoopla, national headlines, Apple trades 1 trillion. And
I swear, it felt like it was yesterday. It was such big news. Apple first trillion market cap. So I had to look it up. 2018. So time flies, but still 5 years ago, we were at 1 trillion. Microsoft's at 3 trillion already. Unreal.
yeah, things are moving real fast here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a financial day. I want to say, and I might be misspeaking, I should have had this nailed down, but I think the ECB met yesterday or last night, and they did not change rates. For all these people think all these countries around the world are going to lower rates, that has not happened. The ECB didn't. We're not rates. Higher rates are here to stay a little bit, folks, and I think that's what's making some of these markets nervous when you see what's going on with grains or everything else. Is that the It sounds so simple, but the overall cost to do business has increased dramatically. And when the Fed raises rates, they even say themselves it takes 12 to 18 months for that rate increase to take effect. Well, they were just raising rates 12, 18 months ago. Now all these people are saying they're lowering them. They don't even know what the first effect is from doing that. So
So,
there's very big lag. Speaking of
well,
lags, talk drought monitor today, sir.
yeah, let's do it. Let's jump into grains. Uh,
You say something.
First thing, just look at the market. Talk about things moving quickly. We jumped on the show. Uh, Corn, beans, wheat. We opened down hard overnight. We were up right at a high of 453 March corn, 1247 beans. We're still down on beans. Are still down. Corn's trying to rally. Tommy, talk about something moving quick. Right, we're sitting right at 452 March corn, and so we'll see what that price action looks like today. Drought monitor. Brady and I were talking this week about how is this snow where we added precip. Has that drought monitor changed significantly? And it's changed, but I don't know if it's significantly. Things that jump out at me, Tommy, is the added drought in that southwest part of Kansas, right? I guess the snow takes a little bit. That drought monitor probably needs to catch up. I hope for those guys out in Kansas that we do see that precip from the snow, but
Mhm.
not a big change, right? Illinois, we're slowly getting less and less. We're almost all the way out of the drought monitor. Eastern Iowa looking much better, but we're still dealing with some drought issues in the Corn Belt.
Yeah, it's interesting, and this drought, folks watching, listening, there's always drought somewhere. I mean, you never look at America and it's just all white. I remember when California was all purple, and now California has very, very little drought, and it was all uh, the gas and emissions were ruining the world, and that's why California's in a drought. Last time I checked, they had too much water. They're having mudslides. So these things go back and forth. Very
Yeah, they do.
emotional. If you're a farmer, as you know, your family farms. If you're a farmer and you're not getting water, it'll rattle someone to the core. And then if you get too much water, you plant that. I mean, it can go either way. So I
Yeah.
guess the answer is drain tile, right? I don't know what to say.
Well, and
Um,
that you said it great when the psychology of when the tile's not running this time of year, we start thinking we're dry. But at the end of the day, we could do a whole special on does a drought monitor on January 25th correlate to a final yield and what yield could be in your area? It really doesn't at the end of the day, but it still affects us. But we shouldn't be looking at drought monitor, and that shouldn't affect our marketing decisions, in my opinion, Tommy.
No, one of the things you and I and Brady and we're going to do a special about crop insurance, and we're going to have some crop insurance experts on that. Of course, Brady's registered to sell insurance, and we need to, in my opinion, for the people watching this out there, we need to get you mentally prepared for big bushels in 2024. Bigger bushels, lower prices. I had a large client call me yesterday. He said, "I think I'm getting ready to make a large cash sale." It shocked me. He said, "No, I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm going to sell cash grain. I grow 1 million bushels of corn, and I have to start." He said, "Because if everyone else is wrong, I'll be right." And he's going to sell the grain, buy some upside strategy that in case we do have a 2012 drought, we understand that risk is there. But in his opinion, he is smart enough to say, "My risk is corn goes down $1, and I got to explain to my dad, my uncle, and my partners how the heck I lost control here."
Yep, absolutely. Great point. Well, you want to dive into some questions, Tommy? We got a couple good ones
Yeah,
here.
let's do it.
First one, mark to market. Good morning, gentlemen. With ADM's recent issues, should ag producers be worried about delivering grain to those facilities?
I'm going to go with absolutely not. Totally different deal. It's on
Same.
the nutrition department. You worked at ADM. I covered the ADM story on Scott the Cow Guy Live. If you want to be mad at ADM, they might have gotten the fake beef business. They might have got too big into lentils,
Well,
peas, and everything else. You may find out that it was all this fake meat ramp up stuff that got
well,
them in trouble.
and we had a little more. Another article came out today. That it's that nutrition segment that's what's getting them in trouble. It's about 10% of overall revenue for ADM, which is a massive company. But here's where if there's smoke, there's fire. Where it gets a little concerning is executives' payout bonuses was
I saw that.
heavily
Yeah,
tied to the nutrition segment, so that's kind of worrisome. But in terms of grain deliveries, it's a 130-year-old company. 10% of reporting, they're still going to take your grain. They're going to be open. They're going to honor contracts.
real
It is
quick.
not a time to worry, in my opinion.
I just looked at the stock. It's down 44 cents. We're not here to give stock advice. We're here to say the facts. And the fact is, a very large company that's in the S&P 500 lost 25% of its value. Let me put it to you this way. If corn lost 25% of its value in one day, what price would we be trading? If beans lost
Oh,
25%, what price would we be trading? And I'm not sure where that wealth went. I mean, obviously someone owned that stock and it's just gone, right? But it was a massive wealth destruction for the shareholder. But the the core of the company, they're up, they're doing business. I have friends and family who work there. Just things seem to be fine. But I will say this: I'll never forget this. When the 0708 debacle happened, Jim Cramer is running around saying that Bear Stearns was fine and you should buy it, and they completely went out of business 2 days later. So I'm no Jim Cramer, but manage the risk, right? That's all I could say, Connor. Manage the risk.
absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
else do we
That's the
have for
business we're
questions?
in. Here we go. Luke, Glencore and Viterra suing Louis Dreyfus over cotton shorts that caused the massive rally in 2011. Sore losers and grasping at straws, or do they have any real claims of manipulation? Luke, I don't know about you, Tommy. I didn't see the specific
I did
headline.
see that headline yesterday. I saw the
Go
link. I
for it.
saw the headline. I didn't click on it. I was trading cotton in 2011, and it was wild. I mean, wild, like the wheat market, double, triple, limit up, limit down. It was crazy. I guess great question, Luke. Anytime someone has the wrong end of a trade, they got to blame someone, because they weren't smart enough to know what was going to happen. And it's those black swan events. These are major, major, major trading companies. These aren't someone who had to make two margin calls in an individual account. These are major players in the world fighting with each other. It all goes back to, is the system rigged, right? And go full blown conspiracy theory on you, Catturd, right? But Tucker Carlson's not calling me to be interviewed, and we got to wrap up this show real quick. Connor, you're
Cotton's
going to do
up
that.
again.
What's it? Cotton's up, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to do that special about the crop insurance stuff, and if anyone wants to see that special, give us a call 1-855-737-FARM.
Yeah.
Emails info@ATI ProMedia. And with that, do we have anything else to cover, Connor?
I don't think so. We got to let you go. Good luck hosting the show today. I'll be tuning in. Everyone else,
All right.
give it a watch. Tommy the cow guy. And with that, I think we'll wrap it up, Tommy.
See you, brother.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.